Here, Hall of Flowers, New York City. Brooklyn Bridge is right outside, which is cool, pretty iconic for somebody from the West Coast. Anyways, we are here with Danny from HPI, the biggest, the largest, the most badass white label contract manufacturer, processor, kitchen, lots of other names across different states and different countries in New York. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And you guys are also cultivators.
100%. So HPI was founded in 2022. We're cultivators, processors, manufacturers, distributors to across all of New York State.
And you're like married to the owner or something, right?
The owner
Just kidding.
is
I
my
know.
brother-in-law.
Yeah, he's your
What's up?
brother-in-law. So how did you get into cannabis?
So I was in college, and one evening my brother called me, and he's like, "Hey, listen, I need help with this hemp project I'm doing. I have this big ass farm that I'm, about to buy. I need help like setting it up and like figuring it out." So I said, "Absolutely." So I came down the next day. I literally saw 400 acres of just land, zero infrastructure, zero anything.
How many acres?
400 acres
Real quickly, geographical context. You said you were in college. Where at?
in Buffalo University.
And then you said come down. Where's that coming down to?
Poughkeepsie, New York.
Like it's okay. We're all in New York here. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when somebody says come down, I'm thinking like Mexico or like Ecuador. Okay, go ahead.
So then I came down the next day. I'm literally looking at cows and pasture and goats and what kind of animals you can find in a farm, right? And I was like, okay, we're gonna grow as much hemp here as possible. So that same year, we essentially went and planted about 250 acres of hemp. And in the middle of everything, we were just like trying to put out things and figure it out on the spot. So one of the biggest obstacles was you have 200 acres, right? How are we gonna dry it? We don't have anything, anywhere to put it. So we essentially built 5 custom dryers that can dry up to 14 acres per day. So we essentially figured that out and we're like, okay, cool. We have all this hemp, 200 acres, all this biomass. What are we going to do? We're going to process it.
Right.
So we built an entire processing extraction facility. We did ethanol extraction, the whole 9 yards. And all of a sudden the hemp market died. So we came in with the high hopes of like making a really good product and selling it for like a really good price. And by the time we essentially opened up and we were fully ready to launch everything, the price of a kilo was 150.
Okay, 150 kilo. When you started,
15,000.
so
So we
that was a
went
pretty
we
big
went
drop.
Exactly.
So you did that lull thing quickly. All right, go on. So then what happened? You realize there's no money to be made.
There's no money to be made, and we were essentially at the point where we were like, okay, we can make CBD oil to just survive, right? Because we don't know what's gonna happen next. We're gonna like just survive. We're gonna try to maybe make our own product, maybe make our own tincture. There were so many different avenues you can do with CBD. We have the farm bill to protect us, so we're just like, all right, what is the best way through this moment in time? And what ended up happening was, we were just getting crushed, and a lot of people were selling Delta 8 in the market, THC 08, whatever type of alternative cannabinoid you can imagine, and that was extremely detrimental to us because they were just bringing it in from out of state versus my 200 acres. They were planting 200,000 acres. So I was like an extremely little fish in a big ocean. So it wasn't looking really good. It was looking really bad actually. And there was a lot of like dark times that we just were confused on what was the next steps because this wasn't sustainable and we were just about to throw our hands up. And Governor Hochul was like, all right, cool. We're going to try this adult use conditional cultivator program and we're going to try to make this happen. So luckily, when we first started, we had the complete infrastructure to grow. We had a complete infrastructure to dry, and we had a complete infrastructure of like the know-how on how to grow hemp, right? Completely different, but somewhat the same, right? So we brought in as many people in-house as humanly possible, right? If we had an electrician, we brought him in-house. If we had this guy to build out this insane, I don't know, like grow feeding system, we had him in-house. We had everybody we can just like strangle in-house. And we essentially switched over to cannabis in 2022. That was our first grow under our adult use conditional cultivator license.
THC cannabis.
Exactly.
So you switch over to your conditional. Did you have to put a big fence around the property?
Yeah,
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
one of the conditions?
exactly.
What were the other big obstacles from switching from hemp to THC?
So the biggest obstacle, honestly, was we were so used to like mass producing hemp and I mean just like putting it in the ground and essentially like watching it grow to the very first year they gave you an acre of canopy, right? So
Acre, that's it.
an acre, that's it. So we had to basically figure out our supply chain, our brands, pretty much all the demand we have with just like this finite amount of weed that we're about to grow, right? Which was
Not a lot of weed.
extremely pressuring because imagine we have a brand new market that's emerging. We have so much demand that we think is about to happen, and we only have an acre of weed
And it's outdoor,
outdoor.
so it's one cycle.
One cycle. That's it.
At 5.6 indoor thing, I'll give it up to the indoor guys, even though it's a dying reality. I'll give it up to them in regards to the fact that they have a consistent, predictable crop. It's still
100%.
too expensive though. Outdoor, sun grown
Sun grown, exactly.
is the future. I don't know what other way you'd grow outdoor. I mean, I guess light deprived. You guys do any greenhouses?
No, not yet.
And but now you have like 9 acres.
We work with a bunch of different partner farmers. Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, and are they going to do unlimited canopy anytime soon in New York?
I don't believe so. I think they're so. What the OCM did was essentially they released the AUCC program and then they released the AUCP program. So what happened was since we already had the infrastructure for the processing facility.
Yeah, I got office cannabis management, but what's the other thing?
I'm sorry.
The other acronym, what is it?
AUCP.
What's AUCP?
So that's adult use conditional processor.
Right.
So there's two licenses off the rip, right?
Yeah.
So we were one of the first 20 people in New York State to actually be awarded both licenses, right? So we can cultivate and we can process our own stuff. And under the same umbrella of processing, you were able to distribute and manufacture your own stuff, right? So there's a bunch of people that were just growing, but they couldn't do anything with their crop. They'd have to come to a processor and manufacture and distribute to essentially make it go fully vertical. So what we did was we literally had everything C1, D2 graded facilities already built. We had GMP certifications for absolutely everything. So we're literally good to go. We just literally transitioned over. And one of the more challenging things was now that we're actually manufacturing products, there's an enormous learning curve, right? Because everybody has the best technology, everybody has like the best pre-roll machine and the best like things to get into the market, but you honestly learn by trial by fire because you use it and you're like, that wasn't the best. So you're essentially dishing out mad money in order to find like the best thing possible to make whatever product you can find, right? So we started out R&D with some things to make gummies, some things to make pre-rolls, some things to make vapes, and through trial and error, we found consistent partners that could give us the very results that we wanted, right? The perfect fill for the pre-roll, the perfect infusion for the pre-roll, the perfect vape fill, the perfect edible, so that came through a lot of years and a lot of failures. And now we're at the point where we can make a consistent product that we can replicate time after time. And one of the awesome things is that we made all the mistakes, right? We dropped the ball a bunch of times and we learned from every single failure and we just came back stronger and we came back more consistent. We came back to the point where now we can confidently, again, make the same product over and over again with the top quality that every brand needs. And that's one of the biggest things that we're proud of because not a lot of people can say that,
You guys are packaging flour, you're doing vapes, you're doing pre-rolls.
Yeah, so I'll just give you
gummies or
pretty much. So we essentially make our own supply chain essentially. So it starts with cultivation. So after cultivation, we decide, all right, what do we want to make into biomass so we can make into concentrates? What do we want to put into flour? If it goes into flour, essentially it goes into a curing room, dehumidifies absolutely everything. It cures in there for a few weeks. And then that goes out to the trimmers. Trimmers make it look really nice, pretty and tight. That goes into flour. So then from there, we can essentially sort things out. We can make our pre-rolls from our smalls. We can make our eights out of our bigs. And essentially that can follow its own cycle. For pre-rolls, we can make pretty much any sort of infused pre-roll with whatever concentrates we want, whether it's distillate, rosin, resin, hash oils, whatever the case may be. We're able to do that. From the biomass that we decide is essentially going to be made into oil, we can make vapes and then again any concentrates that we want to in there, and we can pretty much make every product under the sun.
How many companies you're working with right now? How many?
About 10, and we're bringing a lot more on board.
And in theory, you can make just about anybody's pre-rolls, anybody's vape.
Exactly, 100%.
What about all these different vape companies that say you have to use this hardware, have to do that hardware? Can your manufacturing center adjust to deal with their unique hardware?
100%. So the very first thing,
is that a problem?
It's a unique caveat to work with because it's like if you're a brand owner, if you put your brand owner hat on, right? This is your baby. Like you want it to be exactly the way you want it to be, so that you give us like this list of I need this to happen.
Right.
And it's an extensive research and development process. But once you feel like, okay, cool, this is the product I want every single time, that is our flagship. That's our standard. This is what you need. This is what you're going to get repetitively time after time after time. You're going to go to the store, you're going to buy it, and it's going to be the same exact thing that you tried and you signed off on every single time.
I think I got to tour your facility to get like an understanding of the scale of that.
Absolutely. 100%.
Is it pretty big?
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's decent size.
What do you prefer? Do you like? I always say cultivation is like one day going to be mass scaled, hundreds, thousands of acres, and manufacturing will be more boutique and artistic. Like it needs like that special love and attention, like you guys are doing.
100%. I think honestly, what would be the most thing I'd find the most happiness in personally is like working with people and understanding exactly what they want out of their brand, right? Like exactly whatever that dream they have in their mind is, bringing it into reality, manifesting that however they need it to be, and essentially taking action to make sure that that gets executed every single time. Because everybody has a different essential vision on what they want out of a pre-roll, whether it's a vape, whether it's putting it into a bag, you know what I mean? But that's unique to them, right? We can't just mass produce things and expect to essentially make everyone happy. No, like you want your vape filled in a specific cadence with a specific terpene blend with a specific percentage for sure.
How old are you?
28.
Pretty damn young. So somebody brings a brand out of California, say to New York,
Yeah.
and they say, well, I like to do my own sales. I like to do my own marketing. I know you guys do manufacturing. Can I do my own distribution? You know, I don't think there's an exact way to do this. And different states, different organizations are doing it different ways. Do you encourage people to take a certain path and say, hey, let us do it all? You guys just stay back. And
Yeah.
I mean,
And honestly, that's a really good question, but it's all up to the person, and that's the unique thing about working with us as a partner because we don't necessarily expect to come into your home that you're bringing to us and sort of like make you uncomfortable, right? Like we're not gonna sell you like, hey, listen, this is a deal. Like you're gonna take it or walk away. You can literally a la carte whatever you want. You want us to do manufacturing? Absolutely fine. You want us to do your distribution? Perfect. You want us to do your sales? It's gonna be different. Absolutely, we can make it work. You know, so
right.
that is the benefit of working with somebody like HPI as a partner because we can literally do whatever makes you comfortable and whatever makes the most sense out of the deal for both of us, right?
I always say people should do their own sales, I mean, as much as you're raising your baby as a brand, you know, I mean, manufacturing needs a lot of equipment. You need, you know, that you guys are experts that can get done. You know, at this point,
You know, because everyone has a different outlook. Some people think it's like, all right, well, my potency is going to get me off the shelf. Other people say that my price is going to get me off the shelf, like you said. Other people say maybe it's the branding. So it's a unique perspective because you kind of have to have a little bit of all three, you know, in consideration with you actually coming to the market and you actually understanding that there's different dynamics, different cultures, and different, you know, branding ideologies that are going to essentially work in this particular market in New York versus your hometown in LA or your other state that you're in currently. You know, that's definitely something that a lot of people have to adapt to when they get to New York.
I like it. Well, you definitely know what you're doing, and your company is definitely the go-to, setting the standards in New York. We look forward to working with you. You know, MITA is a network of brands, manufacturers, distribute, and to help entrepreneurs and startups, investors navigate that sector, which is going to be evolving tremendously, you know, of the cannabis universe. So we look forward to working with you and your organization and helping you out over time. Yeah, please join us anytime on MITA Unshackled. And we look forward to seeing you at MJ BizCon. We're going to talk about that after here in a second. And anything else? How do people get in touch with you?
So you can find us on Instagram, HPI Canada, hpicanada.com. And if you want to send email inquiries, it's info@hpicanada.com.
And if you're looking to start a brand in New York, if you're in New York, or if you're looking to bring your IP and your product from another state or another country into New York, chances are you're going to be working through them. So reach out to him. This has been another episode of MITA Shackled.